Hello, I'm Pratap, and my talk is called Wolfram in a Mobile World, and it covers three of our main apps, Wolfram Alpha, Wolfram Cloud, and Wolfram Player, and we'll be talking about some of the new upcoming features and how you can use those apps to enhance your learning. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I hope everybody had a great lunch, and this is Wolfram in a Mobile World, and my name is Pratap, and I work on the desktop and mobile front ends. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about three of our apps, Wolfram Player, Wolfram Alpha, and Wolfram Cloud. We'll be going over their features, what new features are coming, and how you can use them to enhance your learning. But before I get started about talking about them, I want to talk about how I view learning. To me, learning is a three-step process where the steps are discover, create, and play. To really learn, you have to have all these steps according, in my opinion, because that's how I have learned in the past. And discovery is all about finding new things, trying new things out, and developing an intuition for them. Intuition being the key part. After that, you get to create. This is where you get your hands dirty, you break everything possible, just don't break too many things because you have to fix them otherwise. And the final step is play. This is the most fun step because you've done all this work, now you actually get to try it out. And all these put together, you get to learn. So for me, the discovery process really started on November 25th, 2010, when I purchased my first copy of Wolfram Alpha. It was not the last one I purchased. I've purchased a total of 5 since then. So in a way, I paid my own salary somehow. So Wolfram Alpha is an app that brings the power of Wolfram Alpha to your mobile device, and it's available on the 4 stores. They're listed right there. And in the end, I will put up this presentation with active links, so you can go grab it. So let's take a look at what it looks like. When you start, you're greeted by this beautiful search bar, where you can type in anything you want to try. So let's take a simple plot, which I was just doing beforehand. There we go. So it plots sine of x, cosine of y. You're seeing the contour plot. Oh, you're seeing the regular plot, but if you want to see the contour plot, you tap on the little button that says show contour lines. There we go. Coming up. There we go. So, Wolfram Alpha is very powerful. It brings everything you have come to expect from the website onto your mobile device. We have it for iPad and iPhones. I'm just showing on iPad today. So let's take a look at some of the features for the Wolfram Alpha app. You have the search bar up top. You can search. At the bottom, you have related queries to actually what you're trying. So if you want to take a look at something else, you want to do, let's say, plot of ln of sine of x, cosine of y. You can try that out. If you really like the query and maybe you want to take a look at it in future, you can favorite it. Click on the share menu and add to favorites. And that query has been favorited, which will show up in your favorites bar. Oh, I guess we found a bug that I should fix or get somebody to fix. Moving along, you also have history. You can take a look at everything you have searched. So let's say you type a big expression in and you want to come back to in future. We're just going to do one of those today. Take a look. Integrate x e to the negative x from 0 to infinity. You don't want to type it all in. There you go. It gives you the indefinite integral for it. You can come back to it. Some of the other features, we have a huge number of examples. So let's say you want to try something out in a category. Let's try cultural and media. Goodfellas. You want to find out about Goodfellas, you can click on it, and it'll bring up the information for it. What year it came out, who was the director. So we have a vast number of categories you can try. And let's say if you want to learn about something random, click on show random example. I have no idea what's going to pull up. Oh, my favorite, sales tax. Yeah, so you can try. I've learned quite a few new things just doing this. So it's amazing. Now, let's say if you want to, if you're in a results query and you want to try something else, tap on the little link. And for example, it's a negative 2 to the 2/3 power. You click on it, it becomes a new search query you can try out. So it's just like turtles all the way down. You can keep going, going, going. I've yet to find a dead end. So keep trying things. While Wolfram Alpha is really powerful for trying different things, math is not the only thing you can do with it. It has a vast amount of knowledge. You can try. These are just some of the queries. Actually, just last night, somebody was telling me how they use the get information in movies search query to find a movie with Samuel L. Jackson. I forget who the other person was. And in case you're curious, the movie was The Kingsman. So I particularly like the Tell Me a Joke. It has always resulted in funny ones. So try that one when you get that. So Wolfram Alpha is powerful, as I've shown. But what about where are we going? What's new? What's coming? Sometimes, you're working on a hard problem and you're just stuck as to where you're going. So we're introducing Wolfram Alpha Pro on mobile. So it's the same Pro you have come to expect from the website, but now it's on mobile. And we have different plans for every group, and we're trying to make it as accessible as possible. You can get Wolfram Alpha Pro for as little as a coffee. Mind you, it's a Starbucks coffee, not a gas station coffee. So let's take a look at what it looks like. So this is the, there we go, new Wolfram Alpha Pro. So let's do, so this was an integral you can try out. Now, in the past, it would just give you the indefinite integral as it's in the first pot up top. But let's say you're doing homework or anything else and you're stuck at a particular step, you can click on step-by-step solutions, which will walk you through the problem and how to solve it. So you can do one step at a time. And let's say there are steps in the intermediary. You're stuck on like, how do I get from step A to B? So we have step 8.1, 8.2, 8.3 now. Click on Show Intermediate Steps. And voila, there are the steps. So sometimes you can know all the math concepts, but this little thing you're just stuck on has happened before. And if you want to look at the whole problem, you just tap on Show All Steps. And it'll walk you through how to do the problem. I think it's a great resource for finding out like what you don't know, because sometimes a problem can be like, oh, I just don't know that one key thing how to do, and you can go ahead and solve that. And this is what I was talking about, developing an intuition. Once you do many type of problems, you look at many things, there's just like, oh, that's the step I needed. And over time, as you look at enough problems, you start to develop that intuition. So let's try a few more examples here. So this is about finding the extrema of the solution. Now you can see there are local minimum, local maximum, and one global minimum. Let's say you want to find out how to look at the local maximum. You can tap on step by step, and there you go. You can go through all the steps or one step at a time. And as most students, I only actually ever use Wolfram Alpha on mobile. I've hardly ever used the website, so this is a great feature for me. Yeah. Going back. Okay. Now that you've learned how to like find the intuition for different problems, but what if you want to get more powerful than that? What if you want to try different things which are like, you want to program it a little bit to find different solutions? So that's where the Wolfram Cloud app comes in. As Jan talked in his talk, Wolfram Cloud Notebooks are really powerful, and Wolfram Cloud app brings the power of Wolfram Cloud Notebooks to your mobile devices. So here, if you can go ahead and create a new notebook. At the bottom, we have the cell insertion bar. You can select a new cell, input cell, and you can type in anything. So let's do a plot. And we also offer auto-completions, which are shown at the bottom here. Let's say you want to do a regular plot, you can tap on it. And voila, we have templates. So in case you forget something, as I forget all the time since I'm a new coder, I think it's more important to remember how to code rather than remembering the syntax of what you're writing. So this is where it comes in really handy. Tap on the template, and it brings up all the different plot templates we have. So let's just do a simple plot here. Let's make it a little bigger. We support magnification. And there you go. So we're going to tap here, X. Let's just do a simple X. Okay. There we go. Keyboard wasn't working. X, and we're just going to do X from 10 to 20. And we support tabs, so you never have to lift your finger off to click through the different templates. And you can do Shift Enter. Oh, whoa. Okay. And then at the bottom, we have the predictive interface. You can try different things out here. So let's do a different one. Let's do 100 factorial, Shift Enter. So there you go. If you want to find out what that is in scientific notation, click here, and that gives you the scientific notation. So Wolfram Cloud really brings the power of Wolfram Cloud notebooks to your mobile devices. It's amazing. You can use it any place. It's available on multiple devices. Some of the other features we have, you can rename. Some of the other features, we have full access to your cloud files, so you can do any of them. Let's say if somebody shared with you some file, or these are shared by you, and if somebody shared with you, these are all the files you have been shared with you. So if somebody shares with you a file, you can take a look at these. We also have recent, so we support full. So let's try a more powerful example here. Let's do an edge detect. And I know what the format is. I'm just going to use the template to remind myself. And let's do an image insertion. Hello. And this works. So you have the full power of the cloud running behind. As I mentioned, remembering the format of how you type code is not as important as knowing how to code. I get stuck all the time in writing code. So we have been working on a new feature that should help you write better code by remembering the correct format. So here, let's create a new notebook. Tap on here. So let's say you're working on a plot 3D and you have completely forgotten how to do the notation. Oh, I don't remember what goes where. So we're adding documentation sidebar now. You tap on here and you'll have your documentation available as you're typing. So let's look at visualization, graphic. I think it's under data. Function visualization. Plot 3D. And there's the format, so you can go ahead. I should bring the cursor back. X, comma. From 10 to. And there's your plot. So also, if you want to try some example here and you're lazy sometimes and you don't want to type everything in, you can type on the input cell, copy to clipboard, and just go over here and paste and evaluate. This is quite handy as you don't have to type, which I love. I love neat little features where you are not required to type. Heck, I use Siri if I could get everything to be spoken. So now we have seen how Wolfram Cloud notebooks are powerful. So that completes the second part of our journey of creation. But I think the most important part is playing. So that's where we have our new app, which was released a year ago. It's the Wolfram Player. And as Jason has talked about in his talk, he covered already the most important features, but I will go over in case somebody didn't attend Jason's talk. So Wolfram Player is running a local kernel on your iOS device, and you get full interactivity with your content with an in-app purchase or with a paid cloud account. So you can open any notebook that's on your device, which you can do side loading, you can access from cloud, and you get full interactivity. Oh, that's a little dizzy. Should have tried that before. And as you can see, it's quite powerful. There's no slowdown whatsoever. Here are just some more examples. So I tried the same notebook in desktop, and the player is a little bit faster than desktop. And I can say that because I work on both products, so nobody's going to come after me here. So as you can see, it's amazing. It's just like having your content right there. There's nothing in between. And that's a great point. Like in cloud, you have all the bells and whistles. But with Player, it's just you and your content. There's nothing else to worry about it. You can do whatever you want to do with it. So here, as I mentioned, you have your files on your device. You also have cloud files. We support multiple cloud access. So I have 3 cloud accounts on the left-hand side. I have my personal account, the accounts we use to test, and we also allow access to your private clouds. So if you want to load up all the things but don't want to be shared across like public clouds, you can add them here, which you do by adding another cloud account, and you have access to that. Okay, perfect. And we also have full documentation here. So in case you're looking at something and you forget, oh, how does that work? You can take a look at that. Now, here, let's try. Oh, all right. So as I mentioned, you can create stuff in cloud. You can open it here. So let's try something we just created in the cloud. Oh, I should have saved the talk beforehand. But you can open something in the cloud. Okay, you can save something in the cloud, open in the player, try it out. But what if you don't want to create content? I've done that sometimes. I just want something to try out. I don't want to create something new. And that's where we're adding a new function, which gives you access to all the Wolfram demonstrations in your player app. Ta-da! So you can go through, look at anything you want. So for example, if you want to learn how 5-gear manual transmission works. I don't know how to drive a manual car, but sure I can learn this. There you go. So it's working here, but let's put it in the first gear. You can see it's speeding up. It's faster. Or you can put it in neutral. Nothing happens. You're just stuck where you started. And just to make sure I demonstrate, it's actually quite powerful. So let's take a look at example here. Graphics are expensive to draw. And if you can draw this, I'm pretty sure you can throw anything at player, asterisks, and that will work for the most part. There might be some edge cases, as always. So now you've learned about 3 apps, which represent 3 different steps. But like, how do you put together? So I went back to my college example of like when I learned Calculus 3 and how I wish I had all these apps. So my typical workflow would have been to start here. Oh, I don't know how to do a crazy integral. Let's do integrate 1 over x. I know this is not crazy. This is pretty easy. So, okay, this is what the plot looks like. Try it out. Oh, I don't know how to actually do it. So let's get the whole steps of it. Oh, yeah, and if you misspell, it knows how to do it. I don't know how to spell very well, so this is perfect for me either. You can click on step-by-step solution, and it'll show you how to get there. After that, you can open the cloud app, and let's do a cloud integral. Sometimes the integrals are really hard, and they take a lot of time. So I've chosen an example which would have taken me a couple of months to probably do when I was just learning how to do it. Paste here. And Cloud solved that for you. Yeah, this would have taken a long time to do by hand. Now let's go ahead and save this notebook by renaming it. Time saved is what I'm going to call this. And now let's go to player. Let's get your cloud files. And open the notebook. So all of these 3 steps put together, you can really learn something new. Okay, clear. There we go. Oh, wrong. Oh, you can learn something new. You can also play games. Just don't tell your professors you're doing this. I'm not responsible for what happens afterwards. There's a little Tetris. You can rotate. Yeah, I definitely wish I had this when I was in school. This would have turned out very well for some not so pleasant lectures. And also, we also have games in the demonstrations browser. So I recommend you to go looking for them. So going back, where's my talk? Here's the talk. So Wolfram Cloud and Player are available on, Cloud is available on Android and iOS, and Player is available on iOS. And as I mentioned, these 3 apps represent different steps of the learning process, and that's how I've used them over the years now. And I hope you get to use them too. So, thank you for listening to me today talk about 3 of our apps and how they can help you with the learning process. I hope you try them all. And just remember, learning does not have to be tied to a desktop anymore. You can learn anywhere you want. And feel free to reach out to me if you have any suggestions, feedback, or any bugs you want to report. Thank you.